Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another incredibly exciting episode of Make It Easy for People to Give You Money. My name is Michael Mollenhauer. I'm the president of One-to-One Network. We're an advertising agency and marketing company. We have offices both in Laguna Beach, California, and also in St. George, Utah. Today, I've got a very, very special guest with me. I'm going to introduce her in just a second. No, I'm going to introduce her right now just to preview what's going on. So her name is Autumn McGregor, and she's the CEO of Zion's Tiny Homes. Autumn, what's up?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
And I see you brought a friend with you today. This is Ellie?
Yeah, this is little Ellie.
Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. And how old is Ellie?
Little Ellie is 6 months old.
Wow. Well, I see she's very excited. So
Yes.
Welcome today. Before we get to the show where we jump into you, I do need to give a shout out to our show sponsor, if that's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We want to thank Brian Powers of Powers Family Construction. Look, Ellie likes Brian. Brian, she knows that Brian is one of the most trusted general contractors and home remodelers in our local area. Brian is the owner of Powers Family Construction and Remodeling. They're located in Laguna Niguel. You can find them online at powersfamilyconstruction.com. That's powersfamilyconstruction.com. Now, Brian also has a podcast. It's called Feels Like Home, That Remodeling Show. So you can check him out on Podbean, YouTube, or any of the other major podcast platforms. How was that?
That's pretty cool.
I think that Ellie's excited about that too. So as I mentioned earlier, we're here today with Autumn McGregor, who's the CEO of Zion's Tiny Homes. And I met Autumn at a BNI meeting this past Tuesday, and I was so excited to hear what she did. I thought, oh my God, I have got to get her on my radio show because she has got such an interesting story. Kind of a rags to riches story, isn't it?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that you guys are really going to be excited when you hear her story. So first of all, we've already said who you are and the name of your business. So I want to know exactly what you do and why do you do it, because it's very unique.
Yeah.
So
We have several different parts in our company. We work with investors that want to gain passive income by doing tiny home investment properties. And then we work with people who want to live in tiny homes and simplify their lives. We also work with people who can't afford regular homes. So we help them by affording homes and building low-income housing and stuff like that. So we actually have several different tiered ways we help the community.
Okay. Now, since Ellie's only 6 months old,
Yes.
I guess for her, she would want a teensy-weensy tiny home if she was to get one of those.
Yeah, exactly. Well, for her, I would actually do more of an investment strategy and then plan for her future.
Oh, that's really a good idea. Her college education is planned for right then and there.
Exactly.
So why do you do this?
So I do this to...
Ellie wants to get into the show.
Him.
Yeah, you go, girl.
Yeah, I actually do this because it's my passion. Real estate has always been my passion, and tiny homes for me is a economic way to both invest in the economy and give back to the economy all in one. In my eyes, it's a good way to make everyone's lives a little bit easier.
Oh, I think that's great.
Yeah.
So I know that you have got a really, a pretty interesting story. Look, it's so interesting. People are just calling her out of the blue. They want to hear your story.
My phone does blow up.
We're not going to edit that out because this is live stuff. I mean, we've got babies. We've got cell phones ringing.
Oh.
We've got it going on.
Yeah, it's actually my husband. He's very good at interrupting.
Oh, that's good. I think maybe later we'll have Robert bring out the guitar and play a song for us while we're doing this.
I know. He's good.
So I know that, what's your husband's name again?
Jared.
I know that you and Jared have an interesting story, and I know you've got this on your website, so I think it's okay to talk about it.
Yeah, you're good.
On your website, you've got in there that literally this is a rags to riches story. You started this business on your credit card, and for a while you guys were actually living in a tent. Tell me about that.
I actually grew up homeless with my mom, on and off. We were going from home, several different homes to tents to, just bounced around a lot as a child. And it kind of all ended when I met my husband, and we bought our first home out in Illinois for $8,000. And then we began flipping homes and doing all of that stuff. So that's kind of when things ended, as far as being homeless. We did live in a tent together, me and my husband, when we first started out.
Was it a tiny tent?
It was a very tiny tent.
Was that the inspiration for tiny homes? We're living in a tiny tent?
No, the inspiration for tiny homes was actually to be able to give back to the homeless community and to be able to give affordable home options, because a lot of the reasons why we became homeless so often when I was a child was because when you lost your home, you lost everything.
Right.
So from my perspective, if we were able to move our home, it would have been a complete different story. We wouldn't have had to be homeless multiple times. We would have been able to just move our home.
So what brought you out here?
So my husband is actually from here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are not from here, because we've got listeners actually in Southern California and also in Southern Utah, and actually we're streamed on a national level. So right now we're in St. George, Utah.
Which is kind of crazy because I grew up in Southern California.
Oh, what part?
Redlands.
Redlands. Okay.
Yeah.
So we know where that is.
Exactly.
It's a little further inland from Laguna Beach, but that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's... I think that's a really interesting way to get to where you are now. Now, how long have you been doing the tiny home
So
thing?
this is about our 6th year.
Really?
Yeah.
You've passed the 5-year mark. You are now a successfully established business.
Oh, yeah. So we're actually opening up another stream of our company where we actually help people start their own resorts.
Okay, so I want to talk about that too, because at our meeting you were talking about the resort living. And then when I went online and looked at your card, I go, well, there's Zion's Tiny Homes, which is the same but different. So Zion's Tiny Homes, they can actually buy, and they can live in that home, or they can give it to the
Zion's Tiny Getaway.
Zion's Tiny Getaway, where you can rent it out like a hotel, like type of thing.
Yeah, and we actually do all the management for it as well.
So let's talk about that first.
Yeah.
So tell me about Zion's Tiny Getaway.
So Zion's Tiny Getaway is a unique business model in where you buy a tiny home from Zion's Tiny Homes, and then you would give it to Zion's Tiny Getaway. Well, I wouldn't say give, but let Zion's Tiny Getaway manage it for you.
Okay.
And we run it. We do all of the maintenance. We do everything from guest management to cleaning it, and then we just send them a check. But the reason behind that was I wanted a way for someone to jump into the passive income stream and away from moms or fathers to be able to have that second income without necessarily needing to have that other partner in their life.
Wow.
Because I was a single mom at one point in my life, and I'm like, I struggled really hard. I wasn't able to make it until I had a partner, a stable partner in my life.
Right, your husband.
Exactly. But a single mom could invest in a tiny home and get that second source of passive income and be able to be a single mom and be with her children and have that source of income.
You see, that concept right there
Yeah.
is what intrigued me to speak with you today.
Yeah.
Since we're all about how we can make it easy for people to give us money, you have discovered or capitalized upon a way that really does make it easy for people to give you or them money as a passive investment or as an affordable place to live if they want to do that. Do you find that maybe sometimes people will live in the tiny home and then once they get themselves squared away, they might turn around and then say, okay, Adam, I want to put this on the market as part of the resort getaway thing.
I've already done that for multiple of my owners, yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's absolutely incredible. I think that's great.
Because I wanted a company that doesn't just give you a tiny home and say, here you go, and wipe your hands of you and be done with you. I want to be able to help a family grow and be successful and actually see that family grow into something more. And maybe you start off in the lower tax bracket. I want to see you grow into, a higher tax bracket and be able to be a little bit more successful. And,
we're losing Ellie here.
Ellie. Yes, Ellie's like, my turn. I want a baba.
Maybe she wants a tiny home.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's where my passion is I want to be able to help people not just survive, but thrive. That's the key to this company is how to take someone who is maybe just surviving. I want to see them thrive. So.
Okay. So have you had an instance where maybe people will buy more than one of these?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
And they're kind of like multiple non-owner occupied homes?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So I want to know how that works. And since you're like a resort, so you've got the tiny home getaway. Is that what it's called? Tiny Home Getaway?
Zion's Tiny Getaway.
Zion's Tiny Getaway. And that's the website address, zionstinygetaway.com. Okay, so that's good. Then you've got another website, which is zionstinyhomes.com. Yep. And as I understand it, when I was looking at the website, that's where you do both the ordering, the manufacturing, the custom build. And I was watching one of your videos, and one of the things that struck me, I was looking at the one about the hula? The hula?
Aloha?
Aloha, okay. Some kind of a Hawaiian thing.
Yeah, that one's actually very popular.
It's like, I'm like, how they have got Hawaii, and there's got the little rope up there. So
they're all different themes.
Yes.
They're all custom. Yeah.
So you've got the Aloha one, and the one video I was watching, which I would encourage you all to check out, was the fact that when somebody was thinking about having one of these custom built to rent out for an investment purposes, one of the wise words of counsel you gave them was, don't trick this out the way you want it for yourself.
Exactly.
Fix it up that it would be the most marketable sense
to a wide range of
people, not just for you. So I thought that was really spot on.
Yeah.
Talking about make it easy for people to give you money. Don't do something that you like. Make it something that everybody would like.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. You were going to say something.
Well, I do tend to get a lot of investors who are first-time investors, which is okay.
Yeah.
Some people consider those people the hardest to work with because they're new to them. They don't understand a lot of the things that more experienced investors would know. Simply like, okay, let's not spend a lot of money on this investment. If it's just an investment, let's get the fastest return. You do what you know works. I love it when someone will tell me, you do what you know works.
Right.
That's my favorite investor. But I do get a lot of investors that like to customize and be involved in every single detail. And that's okay, as long as they're willing to accept my criticism and you know.
Oh, it's not criticism.
Yeah, it's more
input.
Like it's input, and it's like, hey, I'm just letting you know that purple is going to drive away a good half of your customers.
Yeah. Unless you're Prince, then it'd be okay.
Yeah. Like, you know, so yeah.
Well, so with the Zion's Tiny Home thing, I know that you have a construction facility.
Yes.
Okay, before we get into that, so I do know that if I was a buyer, I can customize this however I want. So how does that work? I just tell you I want a 2-bedroom, 3-bath.
We'll sit down with our clients about 6 weeks before we even start building, and we'll have a design meeting.
Oh, so it's a planning thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so. So we actually have set floor plans, and then we'll sit down, we'll have a design meeting. You pick which floor plan you like, and then you would make changes from there.
And can you customize these to any specific budget?
No.
No.
No, you can't. So what we would do is we say, these are the floor plans, this is how much the floor plan costs, and then if you have a specific budget in mind, we would pick the floor plan that best fits your budget.
And what are the budget ranges for those?
So it would go from $70,000 to $100,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they can then customize them within the parameters of the floor plan.
Exactly.
Okay, they're not going to be making new floor plans.
No, we do have a custom option, like a complete custom option. But with that, I would have to do a lot of paperwork with NADA and stuff like that because we are listed in NADA.
Okay.
So these you can get full RV loans on them as well.
Okay.
But that takes a lot of time on our part, so they would have to do that way ahead of time because it has to have at least 6 months to hit NADA so they could get their financing unless they were able to pay cash.
All right, because I was going to ask you about the financing because I saw the financing on your website. So these would be financed as manufactured housing?
Nope.
Or a mobile home?
So
Say
RVs.
that again? RVs.
Yes.
So these are actually mobile? They've got wheels and stuff like that? Really?
They're registered with the DMV. They're approved for nationwide drivability. Like, they're good.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, so we have an RVIA inspector come, and he inspects each model. Like, it's all legit.
What's the interest rates on one of those mobile home
So
loans?
it really does depend on the buyer. So it depends on their credit worthiness. And yeah.
Give me range.
It
So
changes.
So we can compare with like a stick-built home or something. Is
Yeah,
it like
it does change. It
5,
follows
8, 10%?
regular RV rates, and all banks are different. So can't really give you a range because they're all different. But
Okay.
The last one I saw come in, it was about a 6.7.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's good. And now are they like, what, 15-year fixed or
They can
adjustable?
be.
Or?
Yeah. I haven't seen an adjustable
Okay.
one. Yeah.
All right. We just want to make sure we are clear with all of our folks that are listening and
Yeah,
how
exactly.
the best way is to do this.
There are certain banks that will do a straight out tiny home loan, like Liberty Bank of Utah. We are an approved builder with them.
Oh.
If you're planning on living in the tiny home for up to 3 years, or 3 years or more, I should say, and you have been impacted by COVID, or you have a financial stress and stuff like that, there are
Never mind.
there are grants. It's called Operation Tiny House. They will match your deposit for your tiny home up to $15,000.
Oh.
You do not have to pay this back. It is a grant. We are an approved builder with that as well. It is all done through us. So we send out a letter and we tell them your qualifications. We write a letter on your behalf to them and we try to get you qualified. The steps for that is you have to get pre-qualified through an approved lender, which is Liberty Bank. And then we would send out the letter and all that stuff.
Well, I'm always under stress. Maybe I can qualify for one of those grants. Give me my $15,000, baby.
Yeah, it is limited. So
Darn.
yeah, that's the hard part is it's limited funding. So
Okay. Well, I think that's really good. That I think is a really great solution that you've been able to incorporate to really help make it easy for people to give you money, because you're going to make it easy for them to get the money they need to give to you to buy the tiny home.
Well, what I love is when I'm able to help someone get into the tiny home for little to nothing down. They were actually able to get a grant. They live in it for 3 to 4 years, and then they give it back to me when they're able to be on their own 2 feet. Then I turn it into investment, and then they're able to make money, and then they're actually thriving now instead of struggling.
This is a great idea.
So it's turned their whole life around just because they were able to work with me.
More people need to know about this. Do you have any plans to expand outside
of
Utah?
Actually.
Or should I say that to the end, because I know you've got more stuff going on. Did I jump the gun a little too fast here?
No, you're good. You're good.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, we do actually. That's part of our growing. That's part of our
the growing
second
thing you were
stage.
telling me about. Yeah.
So when I said that we actually do have plans to open up a consulting part of our company where we help other people build resorts. So our next location is actually going to be in Tennessee, just outside of Nashville.
Well, I want to build them in Laguna Beach. I have a lot of friends down here in Laguna Beach.
So all that's required is you to already have the land. And then me and my husband will actually come out for 4 months, and we will help you go through zoning. We'll help you go through all of that. We'll give you all of the management materials and all of that. And we'll help you find the owners for the actual tiny home spots and all of that good stuff.
Where in Tennessee again are you looking at this?
It's about 30 minutes to Nashville.
Oh, I have a lot of friends in Nashville.
Yeah, it's
I need to
in
make
Dixon.
some phone calls.
Exactly.
That's
so
great.
Elvis's nephew,
Oh, yeah.
is going to rent out our whole resort for all summer.
The resort here in Utah?
No,
the one
out
in
there.
Tennessee?
Yeah, like we met him at a gas station on chance when we were out there, and he's like, "Wait, you're doing what?" He's like, "Where?" And then we told him, and we went out to the property. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna rent this out all summer long." He's like, he was so excited because he's got festivals going on all summer, and he's just like, "Yeah,
It'd be like tiny Graceland.
yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Oh,
it's gonna be
wow.
super awesome."
You need to keep me posted on that one.
Yeah.
I might actually make a trip out to Tennessee to visit some friends.
Yeah, so we are gonna start accepting reservations for the actual spots where people want to, put their tiny home there. in a few months.
Well, I have a lot of musician friends that are out in Nashville. And so if you need some bands or some artists to go play your grand opening, David Langley, are you listening to me? So we'll get David and Taichi Cameron, who is kind of the Elvis of Croatia, from what I understand.
Oh, no.
But no, that would be great. I'm definitely want to know more about that.
Yeah.
I think that is incredible.
Yeah.
What a way to make it really easy for people to give you even more money. And if you decide to open one up in Laguna Beach, I'll take you all around. We'll show you the best places.
That's the cool part is we're not actually going to own the resorts.
Right.
The people who own the land own them, and it's more of like we're consulting you, and then our hands are off.
But you can get a 4-month working vacation.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll go to the Montage. We'll have a nice lunch.
Exactly.
That's
my
great.
biggest thing is I don't need to make a lot of money.
Right.
Money is not my goal in the world. My goal in the world is to help other people improve their lives and get better. Like, no one's going to remember you for how much money you have,
Right.
but everyone's going to remember you for how big of an impact you've made.
That's a good point.
So.
So if I'm an investor,
Yeah.
and since Tennessee's now gone, but let's say that I want to be an
It's
investor.
not gone.
Oh,
No, I haven't even started making reservations yet.
okay,
That's next month.
So let's say that I
Yeah.
want to be an investor to the tiny home getaway in
Yeah.
Tennessee. What would be my capital investment? Do I need to purchase more than one tiny home?
Nope.
Can I start with one tiny home?
You can start with one tiny home.
Now I have a resort and I'm ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, I'm in.
You're like, yes, let's do this.
We are so doing this. What a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So David, Alexandra, Vinny, I'm calling you guys and we're getting started on this.
Yeah.
And I know they're listening, so they know I'm talking about
So
them.
the only hurdle that I have to go through before I will start accepting reservations, I've actually already bought the property. I've already bought my home that I'm going to be staying in while I'm going through all the zoning and doing all that. The only hurdle that I'm going through right now is finding management before I start accepting reservations.
Wow.
Yeah.
So before you leave, I got some great restaurant options for you down in Nashville. I'll make sure you get all the good ones.
Oh, good. Oh, Camino Real. Love them.
So do you like barbecue with pigs and cows and...
So I'm really good at cooking. I'm so picky when it comes to food.
Oh, you would like these guys. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give you... Well, sorry, guys. We're digressing here. So
Okay.
we'll come back to that later. So back to business,
Okay.
as we were talking about. So I want to talk about marketing. What are you doing in terms of marketing solutions, things to help you grow your business? I do know that you're a prolific networker.
Yes, I am very old-fashioned. Word of mouth is best. Anyone you talk to is going to be like, oh, she's good because her customers tell their friends and their friends tell their friends. I barely even had a Facebook page. Like,
Yeah.
word of mouth for me because I treat my customers so well that they tell their friends, their families. That's how I've grown my business the last 6 years.
And you do that in large part by being a member of like BNI
Exactly.
networking group.
Yeah.
That's where we met. What's the name of your BNI group?
Pinnacle.
Pinnacle. I'm a member of the BNI Business Leaders Group.
Lame.
Lame. That's it. Okay. We'd like to thank our guest who suddenly had a heart attack and is no longer able to be with us today. So, Robert, come on over here and jump in. No, just kidding.
I keep trying to get him to transfer to Pinnacle.
So that sounds like a BNI challenge, which I will accept on behalf of my chapter, and we'll work those out in details a little bit later. I do know that you are big. Also, you told me you've got a video guy that follows you around everywhere, which
Oh my
is why
gosh,
we're
he's
sitting
awesome.
in your studio and not my studio.
Yes.
So tell me more about how you work with your video guy, which I'm presuming is Robert.
Yeah, Robert is amazing. If he followed me around everywhere, I think people would jump on board and follow my channel like crazy. But I am just hard to tie down sometimes.
He even
Huh,
carries your
Robert?
baby. I'm looking over here.
He
and
does, and she's so comfortable. Such a good baby.
So tell me how you use Robert, the studio, and the video guy who follows you around like...
Yeah,
Like,
so a lot of it
everywhere.
I'm like, don't post that, Robert. So most of it is like towing tiny homes and walkthrough videos and interviews with owners, stuff like that, really just to showcase what we build and really to start having a presence in online world because let's face it, we all have a death date and we never know when God's going to take us. So I wanted the company to not just be me, I wanted there to be a good ground floor of the company and what we do.
Well, I was able to actually extend my death date. Did you know you can do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mine is April 10th, 2051 at 12:01 a.m.
Deal.
Yeah. Did you guys miss that memo? It's online. Oh yeah. Extendyourdeathdate.com. Now watch. Everybody's going to go to some fake URL and look at it.
And get spam on their computer. That's going to be
drive people
And then
crazy.
Garrick from my BNI is going to have to fix their computer.
Wow. Okay, Robert, you're going to have to do a video about that because we can definitely promote that. I want to go back to the Tennessee thing.
Ramble alert.
Yeah, ramble alert. She warned me about that.
Yeah.
And I'm as guilty of that kind of stuff. I'll just talk for hours about all kinds of stuff. So tell me about Tennessee. You're going there in a month? And what is your estimated launch date, target date, et cetera,
4 to 6 months.
Okay, so when are you going there? You bought a home there, right?
I've already got my plane tickets. I'm leaving on the 24th of August.
24th of August, you're going there to start the planning and the estimated launch.
Well, the planning's already done. I've already got all the plans and everything. I'm going there to whip my contractor. Whoosh, let's go.
So the launch date for the first tiny home is in 4 months?
4 to 6 months, yep.
4 to 6 months.
Oh, they're going to be built here and shipped out there.
You didn't tell me that.
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me that? I thought you were.
I just did.
Okay.
Weren't you listening?
Oh my gosh. So you're building them here.
Yes.
In your tiny home factory, and then you're going to ship it out there.
Yes.
So I have 2 questions. Where is your tiny home factory?
Here in Hurricane, Utah.
Hurricane, Utah.
5621 West, 800 South, Hurricane, Utah.
Okay, and for those of you...
I should be on radio.
You should. And for those of you who are not local, it's not pronounced hurricane.
It's hurricane.
It's hurricane. So you got to say it the right way or you will be promptly corrected by all the local residents. So Hurricane, Utah. And how big is this place? Can you build more than one tiny home at a time?
Yes, so we can build up to 4 tiny homes at a time.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, we have 27 employees.
27 employees.
Yes.
And all of their names are?
No, not doing that.
Come on, that was really funny.
Yes, it's very funny. So Eric is our top builder. He's absolutely amazing. He's got a lot of spunk. Cameron is our operations manager, and he is absolutely amazing. He has a background in financial planning, and he's just fantastic.
Wow. I want to know more about Cameron. Can we thank a couple of our sponsors before we proceed?
Of course.
Okay, we do want to thank Brian Powers of Powers Family Construction and Remodeling. They're located out there, Rented Lips. They're located out there in Orange County, California, basically in Laguna Niguel. You can find them online at powersfamilyconstruction.com. That's powersfamilyconstruction.com. The finest in new home construction and remodeling. Brian also has a podcast called Feels Like Home, that remodeling show. You can find them on Podbean. You can find them on YouTube and all of the other major podcast networks. I'm going to give a shout out to one of my BNI local brothers, and that's Brandon Armstrong at Flex Auto Center. They have a proven track record of saving people time and money on auto diesel repair, brake services, anything to do with your car. Check them out. Go see Brandon at Flex Auto Center. So we've just about running out of time. Autumn, who I will not call Amber, thank you very much for being my special guest today. Is there anything else that you would like to tell us within the remaining 28 seconds we've got left?
No, you are totally fine. This has been lots of fun.
This has been lots of fun.
Yeah.
Well, I still need 10 more seconds, so tell me something about 10 more seconds.
Well, we take lots of pride in providing financial freedom to all of our clients.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is Michael, your host with Autumn from Tiny Homes. Thank you for being part of Make It Easy for People to Give You Money.